Hello and welcome everybody. Today let's talk about the quantum realm. This mysterious dimension of Marvel's universe is filled with secrets and strange surprises unlike any other. It's often misunderstood that quantum realm exists inside atoms or something like that. But the truth is, quantum realm is another parallel dimension just like Dormammu's dark dimension. So let's uncover some of the mysteries surrounding this mystical realm. But before we get started, if you enjoy Marvel and superheroes content, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now with that out of the way, let's get this video started.
And when he went to the quantum realm and came back, everything changed.
Quantum realm has appeared in 4 of the 22 MCU movies. It was introduced in the first Ant-Man movie as a place of no return. And then in the Doctor Strange movie, we saw Doctor Strange flying through various dimensions and quantum realm happened to be one of them. Ant-Man and the Wasp further explored the quantum realm and introduced us to some of its mystical properties, like the time vortex and quantum energies. Then in Avengers Endgame, the Avengers used the quantum realm to travel back in time to undo Thanos' snap. There are quite a few ways to get into the quantum realm. When Ant-Man uses the Pym particles to shrink down, he gets smaller and smaller, and after one point, instead of shrinking even further, he moves beyond the Earth's dimension into a whole new dimension called the quantum realm. So to be clear, quantum realm doesn't exist on the quantum level. It is a new dimension filled with life and planets just like the main Earth dimension. Other than using the Pym particles, quantum realm can also be accessed by using magical energies and sling rings. So Doctor Strange can travel to quantum realm whenever he feels like it. Once you're in the quantum realm, things get really spooky and even dangerous. Janet Van Dyne spent more than 30 years in the quantum realm, but since time works very differently there, as Ant-Man tells us in Avengers Endgame, we can't be quite sure as to how long she felt she was there. But these years had changed her, and she wasn't sure herself if she was the same human anymore. She had even acquired the ability to channel quantum energy through her hands. Janet used this newfound ability to help Ghost by stabilizing her quantum phasing. In her childhood, Ghost was hit with tremendous quantum energy when her father's quantum tunnel had exploded, and ever since, she had been struggling with quantum phasing. In other words, she was having trouble physically interacting with the main world. S.H.I.E.L.D. had rescued her and helped her with a custom suit that allowed her to control her quantum phasing, and thus making her one of the best covert agents in the S.H.I.E.L.D.'s history. In one of the cutscenes of Ant-Man and the Wasp, we see Hank, Pym and Janet meet with a sentient creature in the quantum realm. Janet was even carrying a weapon of some kind. So there are possibly hostile creatures in the realm lurking in the shadows. We wonder what she was up to all these years and how she managed to survive for so long. Hopefully Ant-Man and the Wasp sequel answers these questions. As far as MCU is concerned, this is all we know about the quantum realm. But luckily, we have the comics to help us fill in the details and shed some more light on this mysterious dimension. In Marvel Comics, quantum realm is known as the Microverse, but Marvel couldn't use the same name in the movies because the rights to the word Microverse now belongs to the toy manufacturing company Hasbro. The quantum realm has an age-old connection with time travel. The Microverse was created by the time travelers some millions of years ago. These time travelers belonged to 15,000 years in the future and were peace-loving beings. But when the galaxy-wide war broke out, they traveled to some 60 million years in the past, to the time when dinosaurs still ruled the earth. And so they created a safer place to settle down, known as the Microverse. So it was a fitting Easter egg that Avengers used the quantum realm to travel back in time. Microverse is a universe of its own, filled with planets and various living creatures. The most famous part of it is a molecular chain planet called the Homeworld. What makes Microverse even more interesting is that worlds here have minds of their own. So now imagine how awesome it would have been if Earth was able to tell us that it is just fed up with us humans. Enough was enough. I guess then environment would have been the top priority of all world governments. Microverse is interesting in a lot of other ways too, but nothing is more enigmatic about it than the thing called the Enigma Force. What exactly is the Enigma Force? Well, no one knows. It's an enigma, an unsolved mystery. But what we do know is that Enigma Force protects and preserves the Microverse. And just like the Phoenix Force, Enigma Force too has a mind of its own. But unlike the Phoenix Force, it only exists inside the Microverse. The Microverse has featured in tons of comic book stories featuring various superheroes like Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Ant-Man and Doctor Strange. And we hope in MCU too, Marvel further explores the quantum realm rather than just using it as a convenient plot device. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe.